Good morning, everybody. Jeff Rediger. Alyssa is there.
Hi, everybody.
There she is. You sound a little groggy.
No, I'm actually doing just right. Thank you.
Okay. Before we get started on the PowerPoint and the federal financial education, Alyssa does have a couple of housekeeping items, so I'm going to have her go through those, and then we'll get going.
Okay, well, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you had a great week. I wanted to first make an announcement about the lead flow. I've had some questions regarding lead flow. It should be, and you should start seeing it pick back up. I just want to remind everybody, on average, you should receive anywhere between 2 to 4 leads a week. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or call me at any point in time. I also wanted to point out the PowerPoint presentation for this morning's call is available for all of our exclusive licensed advisors. If those of you are there in a fast start, it is not available to you at this point, but we wanted you to see the training and see what we have available for our exclusive licensed advisors. If any of our advisors that are licensed with us would like access to this PowerPoint, please give me an email today after the presentation. I'll be happy to send you the link, I believe, Jeff. Is it a link to that presentation?
Yeah, there's a landing page we put it up on.
Yeah.
That you need a password to access. We also want to remind everybody, and you'll hear me mention this a couple times, obviously you've got to run this through your broker-dealer, and 9 times out of 10 they're going to alter something. Okay, let's get moving on this. If you have questions, again, you can put it up in the chat bar, and obviously get to us via email for a follow-up. So as a reminder to everybody that is working the Fed market, everything that we do is the initiative, and you've heard me talk about this before, but we address it on our landing page here. And if you have a federal employee or you management within any government agency, I think it's imperative that you drive them back to this website and basically take them through the mission statement and the foundation of the company, because our focus, if you look right here, is we focus on the following as outlined by OPM's Retirement Financial Literacy and Education Strategy report to Congress. And I'm going to show you where to get information on that right now, but that's going to eliminate a lot of questions and give you credibility with benefit officers, HR, anybody that asks, well, why do you have access to us? How'd you get our information? And everything that we do is through the Freedom of Information Act, but there's a lot behind the scenes. But I can tell you that I've had numerous conversations with management personnel of the government, and them knowing that I'm familiar with OPM's Retirement Financial Literacy Strategy, and that's what we built our company on, and you'll see that in our presentation here, has kept me out of harm's way. So I want to make sure everybody's familiar with it. And the section on OPM, you can find it off our website, but what you need to become familiar with, again, is the Retirement Financial Literacy and Education Strategy. The government put in, as part of the law that was passed in 2004, the Thrift Savings Plan Open Election Act of 2004, it required Office of Personnel Management to develop and implement a retirement financial literacy and education strategy for their federal employees as part of their retirement training. And this section of OPM outlines every aspect of it. They probably could have condensed it into 1/2 page, but the government likes a lot of words, so that's why it's long. thing is the model here. So if you take a look at everything from understanding their federal benefits, achieving financial security, retirement health, retirement lifestyle, estate planning, education, and wills, you need to make sure that you're familiar with this section of OCAM. And that is what we base this PowerPoint on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this presentation. Now, I share this with you because there's going to be opportunity for you, in addition to our federal benefit educators platform of workshops and seminars that are contractual. And many of you have experienced this, there are times when you may have a group of federal employees that you've networked with or received leads from that are in one department that would like you to do a presentation for them. And we have a turnkey PowerPoint that has been used with the Small Business Administration and FEMA. So it's gone through one broker-dealer for review. This has been a few years ago, but more importantly for us, it has gone through OPM. That doesn't mean it would today, and I'm not saying that we wouldn't need to alter this, but you have a platform that you can run on without having to make a lot of changes, and I think that's the key to this. So I want you to look at it conceptually. You have access to it, but again, it needs to go through your broker-dealer and compliance, but you have the foundational pieces right there for you to do a very simple yet effective complementary presentation. We've used this in webinars and we've used it live. So I'm going to go through the sections and give you guys some background on what you need to cover, and you're going to find that this presentation is simple, but I will tell you that you want to keep it simple. This is Financial Planning 101. We used a blueprint for financial success that was derived from the Kinder brothers. If anybody knows, they're the insurance gurus out of Texas and wonderful people. But this blueprint for financial success, I say, I put government spin on it. So let's take a look at it here. Okay, so when we do a presentation, you need to make sure that you cover everything from their basic foundation of insurance. I think one of the opportunities that we as advisors is making sure that you review their FEGLI insurance. We're going to talk about that. You want to point out areas where they're spending too much money. So that is key. If you can help them understand in a professional way, you don't want to beat up the government. But this presentation, for example, I gave to FEMA, and there were 3 benefit officers, and this was in D.C. from other agencies. So when I didn't realize that they would be there, but I was not to beat up the government, and you'll see as we go through this. So I'm going to go through it fast. There's 84 slides. I'm not going to sit on every one of them. I know everybody loves to hear my voice on Friday anyways. But what I am going to do is give you guys the essence of the presentation. So we talk about it's creating a blueprint for financial success. And every section of this is derived for an early career, mid-career, or pre-retirement presentation. So a little background. You obviously want to update my photo, but the table of contents. So we believe you need to know your current financial situation, establish your financial foundation. Number 3, determine financial goals and create a timeline to reach them. This is simple, basic planning, but this allows us to integrate financial education to them. Remember, this is what we're attempting to make sure that we cover, so OPM, the benefit officers, know that we're in line with the requirements of the benefit officers. So all this falls into place. Know your current financial situation. Facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored. Winston Churchill. So some of these slides can be altered depending on the timeline and how much time you have. I could drag this out for 3 hours, or I could make it a half an hour. I had a window that ended up the HR personnel decided that the staff had to have a meeting, so we had to cut it down to 45 minutes when I was getting ready to put the PowerPoint on the screen. So you have to, we put 84 slides in there so that you guys could alter them. And something that I will do is, if you have an opportunity, I can help you walk through which ones are effective and which ones are more filler. So problems you face every day. We like to talk about information overload in the world that we live in. How do you make decisions? And you shouldn't make decisions in a silo of your federal benefits and then everything else you do, your spouse, your personal finances, everything is what we call macroeconomic decision. So whatever you're doing in the government needs to be coordinated, and that's the first thing you'll see us talk about. We talk about, have you thought about taxes? This screen right here is my all-time favorite, and I was really taking a chance with the government, but the U.S. federal budget deficit, our national debt, this is 2008 or 2009 when I did this print screen. The debt's $12 trillion at that time. And then what I do is say that was then, and this is now. And I'll see if I can do this quickly here, but let's see if I can go to here. What I did on the screen is I said, so let's see what, and then I talk about how that impacts them. Here we go. And now we're up to 18 trillion. So I want to talk about how the debt impacts them. The government's debt, the unfunded Social Security liability, their liability is 13 trillion. Their unfunded liabilities in the U.S., 92 trillion, which means future obligations that have not been funded, 92 trillion. So, we can't be fearful of pointing out the facts with federal employees. And the reason that I go here is because I want them to understand that what they may perceive to be secure is not. Without slamming the employer, just by stating facts, you point this out. So how does the federal deficit impact you? It just means you need to be diversified and understand that what you think may be secure may not be. And we talk about cost of making random decisions, and this really falls into our federal benefit analysis, because the point of the analysis is to take away making random decisions. You know, when was the last time you looked at your financials holistically, which means you organized everything and you looked at it in one snapshot? We use a junk drawer philosophy of most people's finances look like a junk drawer where they've just they put their homeowner's policy, they may have had a CD, spouse's 401k, and then we put in TSP, FERS, etc. We also talk about the high cost of federal benefits. This is from Federal Employees News Digest. Good financial planning can help you avoid carrying costly expenses into retirement. We get a lot of questions on that. I'm going to scroll down here, get to our process. This is why you need a process. And one process that we offer to help you take a snapshot of where you are is a complementary benefit retirement analysis. Now, this is the one from where we were using 3 years ago, and some of you used decision support. These would need to be updated to track, but it starts to give them an idea of what we would be showing them. And I would also tell you this presentation is very effective in a presentation on your laptop to HR, benefit officers, or groups of 5 to 10 federal employees that, as I mentioned, may be interested in learning more about what you do and how you do it. And just get on a join me like this, log them in, and off you go. So that's the first section. The second section is establishing your financial foundation. You need to protect your house. We have a blueprint for financial success. Again, this is simple, but I'm telling you, whether you're dealing with a biologist or you're dealing with a physician at the VA or some admin person, a lot of them don't even have a foundation established. So we take them through how to build the house, and again, depending on how much time you have, for first steps are talking about insurance and making sure you protect your foundation, and this leads to what we will get into, saving first. How much do you have in emergency savings? Then we talk about the first pillar in emergency savings, 3 to 6 months. Now we're going to go to life insurance. We have a bucket example of term insurance, which is FEGLI, Social Security, and personal insurance. The cost of FEGLI and how it works. I point out in the presentation, if you would like an analysis, we can demonstrate what you're paying today and what you'll be paying in the future with your FEGLI. And you could get everybody in the room. Once you hit about 45, it just starts to get very expensive. So we're also looking for cost savings. We talk about the increases at retirement. I'm sure some of you, I have. It's amazing to me how many people still have option B in their 60s and 70s with the government. And it's because nobody's told them. Nobody's told them how expensive it is and that they should look for other options. So these little things can really help gain credibility because you're looking at everything, not just their retirement plan. We talk about looking at alternatives in a general fashion. Depending on time, we do talk about Social Security, unfunded liabilities. We get into the types of insurance that we can offer, a calculator. We talk about the government's long-term care. We talk about being disabled or having a long-term illness and what that would do to you financially. We point out that The government does have long-term disability for those in FEGLI. It is very limited. I'm sorry, those in the FERS pension system, it's very limited, and they should at least get a quote to look at an alternative to make that gap in the disability benefit disappear. And you guys have heard us talk about carriers that we use that have a customized software that can run an illustration. For me, what I would do and what I did do in practice is I would always have an illustration for disability and an alternative at a standard rate for life insurance, just to show them if they ever said, well, what would that look like? So that you're not saying, oh, I'll get it for you. You can just pull it out. And if you have staff, it can be done very quickly and put in the packet because, sometimes they have no idea. You obviously have to tell them, you look good on the outside. We have to make sure you're as healthy inside as you are outside. This is not something that you can just sign up for. The reason that it's more cost efficient than what you're paying for is that there's underwriting, and they don't cover everybody. That's why your benefits watered down, because they have to insure everybody, and the government employees understand that. So what I'm trying to share with you is that you need to present to them a holistic approach. We know that the home run and the benefit and the opportunity for us long-term is the thrift savings plan. But if you're helping them with all these other options, and you can get paid on some of these other options, or you have somebody on your team that's an insurance, you're the quarterback for their financial situation, and they're going to lean on you for everything. I tell them to go have a review with their P&C agent. If they don't have a P&C agent, we're going to refer one, because a lot of times there's coverages. I can't tell you how many people don't have an umbrella coverage. That's just like life insurance. If you don't have an umbrella, you're subjecting yourself to evaporation of all your assets. So for very low cost. Then we get into pension systems. Oh, we also talk about making sure, go back and make sure your will's updated. Many people say I don't even have one. You don't really have to get into that because they know they need it. Again, I go back to the pension systems because I want to let the benefit officers and people know in there that, look, we're not only educating on the basics of financial planning, we're also educating on their benefits as a federal employee. So as you see, we toggle back and forth between their what they have through the government and what they should be looking at. Not anything specific. There's nothing product oriented here. It's just education. The FERS and annuity, survivor benefit, some basic financial risks they may not know about. So you're starting to see here as we get closer to the retirement section, we've really given them a lot to think about, and at this time they're writing notes. Both of these presentations, they wanted to have us back for follow-ups. So that told us that even though I was covering a lot of ground quickly, people were engaged. They were raising their hand, and so as we get to the end here, we start to talk about the thrift savings plan, how they're going to allocate it, what their options are for allocating. That the thrift savings plan was set up to supplement their pension. It was never meant to be the sole source of retirement, and a lot of people think it is, and even that's not enough. They know it. We talked to them, and this is taken from the 2011 FERS Retirement Planning Guide. You still may be able to find it on FedWeek, but we walk them through bullet points if they're close to retirement of understanding when they may not want to retire, that they need to be planning 1 year ahead. And we start helping them understand that, look, we're there for you, whether you're mid-career or if you're getting ready to retire. And if you're getting ready to retire, you need to start this process a year in advance. All of you out there that have worked in the Fed market for a while get this. And the federal employee knowing that they have somebody to turn to, you got a tremendous opportunity right there to help them. Everything from making a checklist, getting information on eligibility for Social Security, their thrift savings plans, telling their supervisor about their proposed retirement date, making sure that the retirement counselor in their agency makes sure the federal employee knows when a pre-retirement counseling seminar is coming up. And then we tell them to make a personal appointment with their benefit officer to review their official personnel folder or its equivalent to make sure that their records are complete and accurate, all the services verified, insurance coverage is documented, because if the government is screwed up on your pension, maybe you were a CSRS employee, came back as a FERS, if that calculation's wrong, the OPM will put the blame on the federal employee for not confirming their official personnel folder. So it's their responsibility, and I've seen that happen. So, then we complete the foundation with them, and then we get into, as we close with this, we say, this is where we come in. As financial advisors that specialize in the federal market, we can help you determine your goals. And even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. So our core beliefs are these sound financial principles. We believe in financial self-defense. This was an article that was published on the Consumer Guide for Financial Self-Defense, and this is John Grobe, who's one of our instructors out of Chicago. And then where do we go from here? So we tell them that if you'd like, you can check the box of requesting a complimentary benefit analysis, meet with us to discuss the results either face-to-face or via web meeting, no cost. Whether you decide to pursue anything further with us or not, the analysis is no obligation. It's that simple. And then, off we go. So that is, and there's the debt clock has gone up since we started here. So anyways, that is our presentation and the reference point as to where we developed and outlined that presentation based on OPM. So that, again, as Alyssa mentioned to you, is available for those that have a marketing agreement or work in a Fed space with us. And for those of you that are in a fast start, you will have the opportunity, if you move forward with us, to have access to that particular PowerPoint and the educational tools behind it. So with that, if there are any questions, I'll go off listen only here, or you can put it in the chat bar. So I'll take you off listen only, see if you have any questions before we wrap it up. Are there any questions out there?
Yeah, let's put one on 6 months out.
Do we have any questions out there today?
Every time.
I know. Every single. So anyways, okay. We will get to listen if you do have questions. We do have a rebroadcast of this, so we get your recording. And I hope this has been beneficial to all of you. And we wish everybody a great weekend. And we want to thank you for your business and your support in this federal market. So that concludes the presentation. Did I miss anything, Alyssa?
No, excellent job this morning, Jeff.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.